Oh, come on! Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Dodgy Gamer here with another episode of Andorra. Andorra, the Club and Country Challenge, the double challenge, in which I take over the club, FC Andorra, and the nation, Andorra, and I try to take them both down the road to glory. So, yes, interesting times as we record this episode. This is actually the third night in a row I've sat down to record this, and my head's just been all over the place. I haven't been able to get going on the other nights, mainly because of the real life version of this kind of thing that you're seeing on the screen here. I do hope all of you viewers are unaffected, or just have that mild case that they talk about. I know some YouTubers are saying that they're not saying the word because they get demonetized. But I'm not monetized, so fuck it. It's coronavirus that I'm talking about, of course. Now, I'm not here to give health advice, of course. That's the government's job. I don't even want to make a joke about that. But one thing I will say to you, dear viewers, if you are at home more than often, whether that's just being cautious or through self-isolation or so on, do make sure you take care of yourself, not only physically but mentally as well. Make sure you schedule some of that precious me time in there. And no, this isn't going to be some cheap plug to come and watch my content, although that could be misinterpreted as one. No, this is just seriously saying, this is the time to, take a little bit of time every day away from the bombardment, the 24-hour news and the empty shelves of the supermarkets, and just chill. It might be FM that helps you do that. It might be reading a book. It might be catching up on a TV series. It might be watching some wrestling in an empty arena, or it might be, just chilling in the garden, doing a bit of yoga, trying something new, playing a musical instrument, whatever floats your boat. This has been a bit off the cuff. Wasn't intending to kind of go into this much depth, but the message is there. Take care of yourselves, and let us know down in the comments below, what your tips are for, kind of avoiding the old cabin fever in the weeks and hopefully not months ahead. Anyway, on to the episode. You'll see here we're quite far into the season now. We've taken a deep dive into the season with FC Andorra, of course. I've just given you the pre-season update, and then the other episodes since then have been the internationals. So a lot of catching up to do as far as FC Andorra go. And as you'll see from here, things are going pretty well. We talked a bit in that pre-season episode, and a lot of you agreed in the comments about going for mid-table safety and going for quite a boring season. We're a little bit above that at the moment. As you'll see, we are 8th. We're currently just one spot outside the playoff positions. We're helped in that by the fact that Barcelona B are flying high. On top of the table, of course, they can't be promoted to the top flight because that's where Barcelona, not B, are. So 7th place at the moment is a playoff spot. Now, we are just 3 points behind that playoff spot. Look at that. Mallorca are above us, and that's who we're playing in the live com today. But first, we'll go through some results. We're not going to go through each match one by one because there's been 26 of them, not counting the cup. But you'll see, it was a bit of a mixed bag at the start. Obviously, I think I went through these games in previous episode when we got to the end of the transfer window. We had a nice run of 3 wins there, although those were against 3 of the teams that are amongst the favourites to go down. Then today's opponents, Mallorca, Zaragoza, so quite a tough pair of matches there. So we had a bit of a run of defeats, and then we were never really getting any form going. It was like win, defeat, win, defeat, win, defeat. At one point, I think 14 games in, our record was 1-7, lost 7, an even goal difference. We finally picked up a draw at Lugo. That was our first draw of the season. Then we, of course, had a couple of draws back to back. But we've been picking up the wins. We had a 1-0 defeat at home to Albacete, a bit disappointing. But since then, in the league at least, we're unbeaten. We've gone on a bit of a winning streak. Those are friendlies that I'm hovering over, so ignore those. We went on a 2-game winning streak, and then we had a draw against Barcelona B. Oh, that was one hell of a game, that one. Barcelona B 3-3. I should talk about this match in particular. So look at that. Liam Millar, early goal. Cortina put us 2-0 up. We were cruising, then bloody Javi Munoz got himself sent off. They kind of scored, got the nerves jangling a bit with 12 minutes to go, but then Millar with the second, so it's like 3-1 up, 7 minutes left. What could go wrong? Well, Louis Barry scoring twice more, 87 and 90 plus 4. Last kick of the game. Oh, we were so close to beating the league leaders away from home. But anyway, we've had a couple of other big results since then. Huge 5-1 thrashing of Fuenlabrada. We see Lee Russell crush getting on the score sheet as well. Vukitic finally scoring a penalty, and Alex Cantero as well. Most recently, we did have a disappointing draw away to Logrones, who are one of the relegation-bound teams. Bloody Andy, getting 2 goals for them. But we're just coming off the back of a very impressive win over Zaragoza. 2-1 against the team that are above us in the playoff positions. We also had a little run in the cup. We had 3 matches, all against teams from the tier below us. So to Delano, we beat them 2-1. Very much a rotated squad here, bringing in all the substitutes and players who are not really getting game time. Did the same again against Hospitalet. 1-0 win we carved out this time. And then finally, we had Huelva, and this was a great chance to go through. Had we won, we would have had a home tie against Barcelona in the next round, but they managed to beat us. They got a narrow 1-0 win. Just a couple of bits of transfer news left. We continued our quest to strengthen the midfield. Juan Alano. Now, this was a player, I completely forgot I signed him actually. A Brazilian player. We signed him at the end of his Brazilian contract, which was January 2023, and he showed up, and of course I signed him back in July before I remembered only 2 non-EU players, so we immediately loaned him out to Tenerife. Iker Alvarez, the Andorra national goalkeeper, he's out on loan at Santander in the division below. And Finocchietto, the Argentinian goalkeeper, who I couldn't register because I forgot Belarus is not part of the European Union, he's gone back to Argentina for 6 months on loan. Apart from Alano, we did bring in one other new signing in the midfield, a Mexican player from Chivas. His name is Paul Macias. Now, he's Mexican, so how did we get around the EU rules? Well, of course, he's got French second nationality. Of course, Mexican-French makes complete sense. He's dubbed the new Alberto Garcia Aspe, which, of course, is one of the reasons we signed him, but also the fact that he's a versatile central midfielder. He can play box-to-box, he can play Mazzala, he can play deep-line playmaker, all roles that we like to make use of. He's left-footed as well, he's resolute, he's a hard-working midfielder, and he's only 19, and he's all ours. So the fact that we were supposed to avoid relegation, but we're up challenging for a playoff spot, has got me an A for my manager performance so far. I did manage to get a new contract. This was good news. My contract was up at the end of the current season. The only thing is the board were being a bit hardball on it. They would not consider anything longer than 2 years, so you see my contract is now going to expire in 2025. They wouldn't let me add any clauses in or make many changes at all to the initial offer. They actually withdrew the offer at one point and then had to try again a couple of months later. So in the end, I just kind of agreed to what they were offering. You'll see over here, Expand Stadium coming up in the board requests a little bit. I mean, I didn't actually request this, but this is part of the league rules that eventually the stadium has to be expanded, and they've got until the end of this season, 2 seasons in the division, to do that. So they've got the planning in place. It says it will be completed by the 8th of December this year, and this is just the planning part. So not sure what's going to happen next season as far as our ground goes. One thing I forgot to mention in the transfer roundup, there's a little bit of a transfer saga with Jose Francisco Perez, a hotshot young Andorran left winger. There was interest. You'll see here he's still wanted. It was Mallorca who started to come in with bids for him. Now, the thing is, you see, his value's shot up this season. He's now closing in on 2 million in value. But from when he signed his contract, which is up in about 18 months' time, he signed one with a release clause of about 950k. So Mallorca kept coming in with bids, getting them up higher and higher to like 550, 600,000, 700, 750,000. But they stopped there. They didn't go any higher, thankfully. Probably helped that Jose Francisco Perez got a mysterious injury around that time. Don't know how that happened at all. But he ended up staying with us. I'm trying to get him to sign a new contract. His agent is asking for a lot, though. So we're going to have to give that a rest and try it again in a couple of weeks. Now, in terms of the overall squad performance, one thing that's a bit different from the last couple of seasons, if you come over here to the goals column, is we don't really have any one player who's tearing it up in terms of goals. It was Benedetti last season. It was Simon the season before that. Not so much this season. Benedetti is still the top scorer on 9 goals, so he's doing all right. He's got a good average rating, has had a little bit of time out injured, hence the drop in stats. But in recent games, it's Lee Russell, the boy from Rochdale, who's finally coming into his own. He's finally getting the goals out there. So you see, he's scored 6 goals so far in the second division, a lot of those coming in recent appearances as a striker, and he's bagged a couple in the cup as well. And then also chipping in with 7 goals, Liam Millar. Now, you may remember in the last club episode, I was a little bit unsure about signing him. We went ahead with it. We thought we can always make profit on him later. But he's actually started to come into his own, and it's in the inside forward. It says here inverted winger is his best role, but inside forward, coming in off the left, he started to do really well. 6 goals, most of those coming in recent matches as well, plus 1 in the cup. You'll notice he's now Canadian instead of English. That's because he got called up to the Canada squad for the 2022 World Cup. His time there didn't last very long. They were eliminated in the group stage, but good experience for him. Seems to have been a confidence boost for the lad. And apart from that, much like last season, Cortina has been doing the business in the centre of midfield. 7.47 average rating. Absolutely fantastic. And Vukitic, after a slow start, has been stamping his authority on games as well. A 7.22 average rating and 2 goals, including a penalty finally, in his 23 appearances so far. Overall, I'd say I'm happy with the team and happy with the team playing in this kind of formation. I think the additions to central defence, although they're not the top-rated players in the team, they've certainly added a lot more depth and quality there. Midfield is great. Macias is a good addition, but I've got lots of rotation options there. I've got Ejuma who can come in. Cortina's out injured at the moment, but, we're able to cope with that. See, Miller normally plays on the left, but he's just recovered from that virus, and Perez is still out with a knock, so it's going to be Cantero switching flanks for today. Benedetti up front. Russell's playing out on the right today, but he has actually, again, it's injuries, the fact that we've had to put Cantero over to the left. That means I'm playing Russell on the right. Otherwise, I would have kept him in that central role up front. Now, it's something you don't see too often on the YouTube videos. We are going to get to a match eventually. But the match briefing. Now, this is something I do. I do not generally hand it over to my assistant manager, so just thought I'd try and talk you through how I would do it. Now, this game against Mallorca, we're home. I've set up to play with positive mentality. So I'm telling them that we're sticking with the normal formation. I'm not going to say, hey, we're playing positive mentality today, because they probably won't like that. They'll think against Mallorca we should be more conservative. However, I think we can win. So I'm just going to leave that one for now. So I'm going to leave the positive mentality alone. I'll just highlight a couple of things that Now, these things, often we don't get a positive reaction, we don't get a negative reaction for them, but I highlight the things that I think are going to be important in the game. So, low crosses and higher tempo. I've noticed in the match reports that their defenders are a little bit on the slow side, so that's why we're emphasising that. Counter, we're going to emphasise counter-attacking football as well. I won't, again, emphasise counter-press because they might feel that's a bit too ambitious for who we're playing. We will emphasise also tighter marking, which he's got the thumbs up. and the fact that I want them to play with a higher defensive line. Then with the other parts, with a player, if I'm bringing a player in, if I notice there's something they're not quite doing enough of, maybe I've had a report from the previous game that Cantero didn't really connect with his crosses. I might have a word with him about that. However, he was doing all right last time. I find it's important when I'm playing Russell as a Raumdeuter to tell him that he's got that license to roam. It doesn't get a thumbs up, but those kind of things are important to highlight. There's no comments to make in the squad area this time, but sometimes, for example, if a key player's out injured, that might be mentioned here, and usually drawing attention to that, saying, come on guys, we've got to rally round, because, Benedetti's not available today, for example, and they usually give a positive reaction to that, depending on the squad personality. If they're resolute, determined, they will give a good response to that. Sometimes if I've made a lot of changes, big changes to the squad will appear here as an option. And again, it's just about kind of letting the players know ahead of the match about any changes that are going to come in, so that I think then they're a bit more mentally prepared, even if it's not thumbs up all over the place. Okay, so it's finally match day, home to Mallorca. We are actually favourites for this one. We're in better form than them. Let's see if we can carry that in to a victory that could potentially take us into the playoff places. Okay, so Mallorca coming with a 4-2-3-1. Looks like they're going quite wide with those wingers as well, so we're going to have to watch out for them trying to get around the back of our fullbacks. We shall encourage the team. Let's have a look. Yes, we're second in the form table. Let's show them why. Coupled with a bit of the usual, I have faith in you. Well, 34 minutes gone, and we finally get a highlight. I have faith in them to kill the game dead. But it's Mallorca with the ball, playing a long one over the top. Oh, we kind of cleared it, but we didn't. Andrade now with it. Finally, we get it away. Benedetti with a chance for a quick break. It's Russell, the Raumdeuter. Russell into the box. He takes the shot straight at the keeper, who's called Zidane. Okay, that's interesting. We probably should have crossed it there. Ooh, dangerous position here. Mallorca, Vukotic clears, but now Mallorca have got it back. Pedrino plays it to Munoz. Benedetti with a crunching tackle. I heard that one all the way over here. Benedetti now with the ball. Is he going to play the ball forward? Is he going to knock it out wide? He's seen the man Delmas. Delmas brings it into the box. He's going to drill across in. No, he can't. But he gets it to Munoz, who slams it. Slams it into the back of the net. 4th goal of the season. Whoa. Wow, look at that. I thought the chance had gone here when Delmas was tackled, but he recovered well. He drew 3 men out. Fantastic. That gave Munoz the space to just, boom, pump it in. I think we deserve that. 10 shots, 6 on target, 66% possession. We deserve that. Things are going well, but you're capable of even better, I tell them. And we have a bit of faith. No, I accidentally selected I'm not happy, but that fired them up. So let's get out there and finish this match off. Oh no, we've picked up an injury. It's Delmas. Foot injury. He's going to have to come off. At least we've got a ready-made replacement in Carlos Isaac. We'll give him a quick bit of a pep talk. I've faith in you. Get out there, make a difference. He's motivated. Dynamics are rocking at the moment. Now let's see if we can capitalise. Isaac straight into the thick of the action. Plays in Vukotic. Back to Isaac now. Brings it inside. He's come very central. Switches the flank to Cisse. Good play from Isaac there. Cisse went for a little pop shot. Probably should have crossed that, I think. He's getting a bit too cocky there. Right then, Mallorca's attack breaks down. A poorly directed ball. Carlos Isaac getting himself involved yet again. He plays it into Macias, the Mexican Frenchman, who gives it away. Okay, well, bigged you up for no reason, you Macias. Anyway, here we go. Can we get the ball off Mallorca? Yes, Justiniano heads it away, but Mallorca just keep recycling it. Bit of back and forth, bit of ping-pong there. Reminded me of watching the Andorran national team. Here comes Russell, gets across into Cantero. Cantero's header just gently bounces off the post. Oh, so nearly 2-0, but we got the corner. Is there a chance for something here? No. Justiniano playing it out from the back. All the way back to the keeper. Okay, interesting. Gives us a chance to spread things out a bit. The keeper brings Munoz into it. Justiniano now back to the keeper again. All right, Justiniano, you're a ball-playing defender. Don't just play it to the keeper all the time, but he plays it to Benedetti, and okay, Justiniano, you obviously had a plan there. You obviously thinking about this on a completely different plane to me. Fair play to you, fair play to you. Lovely angled, lofted pass, not a long ball. Benedetti takes one touch to control it, couple of strides forward. Whoa, whoa, Benedetti, bound. Whoa, Pedro Justiniano. And now it's a corner. Are we going to add a third? Russell, so close. We're definitely rocking this game now. Anyway, here come Mallorca, looking to get one back. Ooh, so close to a goal there. Hit the crossbar. Nearly bounced in off the keeper by the looks of things. Hopefully, we're going to make sure this doesn't result in a goal. Safe hands from Banús. Ooh, I'm going to have to make a substitution soon, I think. But the highlight continues with Russell collecting the goalkeeper's kick. He plays in Cantero. Cantero? Oh, yes, Cantero. Absolutely fantastic goal. Well done. You can only applaud. You can only sit in your gaming chair and applaud. We are playing really well now. I'm just making a substitution for the sake of it here, I feel. Who do we take off? I'm going to put Hernandez on. Give Hernandez a bit of a rub off a big game like this, and we'll bring on a time-wasting sub once we're on about 85 minutes. Right, Mallorca have the ball, long one played forward, but we get it. Vukitic out to Russell. Munoz, they've got Isaac making a run, but they didn't see him. Justiniano, Russell, it comes to Isaac. Beautiful ball from Munoz there. He gets the cross into Cantero. Oh, that was sexy football. So nearly resulted in a goal. But now it's Mallorca with the ball from the goal kick. Oof, if they score now, it's going to make for some interesting final few minutes. Tight and tense. But, we've got the goalkeeper under pressure. But no, have we committed too many players forward there? Possibly. Andrade. Carlos Isaac. Been a revelation since he came on. Just shoves him off the ball. Russell loses it a bit too easily, though. But it's back to Isaac. And he's all over this game. All over this game like a rash today. Here comes Cantero. Cantero knocks one across to Macias. Nearly got his first goal for the club. Right, I brought on Liam Miller. I was thinking we might bring him on to just build up a little bit of match sharpness. Russell, unfortunately, has got a potential injury. Bit of a knock, so we'll take him off as a precaution. Looks like a bruised shin, apparently. Probably because there's a bruise on his shin. Anyway, we defend the corner as we've got 5 minutes of stoppage time. Not sure why that is. Anyway, here comes Macias with the ball. Plays a beautiful through ball to Benedetti. Benedetti one-on-one with the keeper. Saved for the corner. Cantero whips the corner in. It comes out to Vukitic, who's taking his time. There's no rush here, of course. We're 3-0 up. We're in stoppage time. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be that. That was a good win. That was a good win, a far cry from last season, that's for sure. Certainly we'll tell the boys that we appreciate their efforts. I am very happy with the result and the way you played. Well done. And as the Spanish second division goes on, head-to-head results, that is enough to put us ahead of Mallorca. We're level on points. They beat us, I think, 3-1 earlier in the season, so we've beaten them now 3-0. That gives us the head-to-head edge. Ooh. We're in a playoff spot. Wow. Can we hold on to it? We're 7 points off an automatic promotion spot. Probably too large a gap to close down. We've got 4 points over Zaragoza now. I mean, can we hold on? Can we hold on? Let me know what you think down in the comments. So let's have a look at our running. Oviedo, they're up there in the top half of the table, so that's going to be a big game coming up next. Got Elche, who are in that conversation for a playoff spot to come as well. We've got Coruña, who are above us, and Tenerife. So we still have a few big games to come. We've got some teams lower down in the table as well. So, we're on a good run. If we can keep it going, who knows? So 9 matches in a row without losing. Well, I'm off to see if I can make that 10 matches in a row without losing. Probably jinx myself now. If you want to see the result of that match before anybody else, check out the description below. Find the link to my Discord where I do occasionally post some updates between episodes. Get my words out. Some updates between episodes so you can check those out. But apart from that, well, thank you very much for watching today. Hit that like button if you've enjoyed today's episode. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We're so close to 450 now. Drop me a comment as well. I'm Dodgy Gamer. Take care of yourselves, everyone, and I'll see you again soon.